The modern dating world is like swiping through your rubbish bin. You just see everyone you dated previously.
Married at First Sight is one of a long series of TV shows that have been trying to make the love show formula fresh and exciting. And clearly they've been doing that, because the show has already had 8 seasons, and each one is even more outrageous and insane than the last. But they endure. And so do the couples. Some of the times. Because between all the uncertainty, the drama, the hookups on and off camera, and the wait to reveal to the world who stayed together and who broke up, it's easy to wonder what happened to your favorite couples. So allow us to show you Married at First Sight Australia, Season 6, and where they are today. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Cameron and Jules. Now, we're not going to lie to you. A lot of the couples who get put together on Married at First Sight don't make it for various reasons. So why don't we start off with a couple that honestly did make it? Cameron and Jules. Because this couple was one who had a lot going for them. But the question was whether they had the same goals and dreams in regards to the relationship. On the show, Jules made it clear that she wanted to be a mom, and that it was important that the man that she was marrying also wanted children. Well, Cameron proved that he was that guy. Because not only did they have a wedding that was uber romantic, dancing by the waterfall, nice. But in later 2020, they had their first kid, a boy named Oliver. During her pregnancy, Jules said, "Once it was all confirmed, I bawled out of pure joy and happiness. To create a baby with the man you love, there is no greater gift, and Cam will be one incredible father." Hearing this story gives you hope for series like Married at First Sight, because it means that it can work despite all the odds. Sadly, not everyone has their luck. Lauren and Matthew. When Lauren and Matthew were put together on the show, a lot of people thought they too would have a long and happy relationship, because it seemed at first that they had a lot going for them. But it wasn't meant to be. And we mean that in the literal worst way possible. Matthew revealed to the other grooms he didn't find Lauren attractive during a dinner party, and Lauren overheard. They had a big bust-up. Marriage over. Lauren told 9honey Celebrity, "Matt had never told me he wasn't attracted to me before, and I was really hurt too. I felt that he really betrayed me, especially because I had always been by his side and respectful of him in social settings." Yeah, that's a deep cut. And after the series, it seemed as though Matthew got the last laugh again because he hooked up with someone while Lauren didn't make clear whether she was with anyone. Hopefully, she does find someone who appreciates her for who she is both inside and out. Cyril and Nick. For Cyril and Nick, there was hope for them as well, and at points during their stay on the series, they had some good moments. They had a great honeymoon, and Nick was able to win over Cyril's brother, which is always an important thing to do. However, despite all of that going their way, they didn't make it, and that's honestly a bit sad. So what happened to them afterward? Well, that's where things get a bit interesting. Cyril is now dating Eden Daly from Love Island Australia Season 1, and they have a child together. Cyril told Now to Love, "There was a rocky start, I'll admit, but you always end up falling for the ones you least expect, and you find happiness when you're not even looking for it. When I met him at Jules' birthday, I gotta tell you, I so did not like him. But we kept on hanging out, and after that, he sort of grew on me, slowly, and I'm like, he's actually okay." Clearly, because they had a kid together. As for Nick, his journey was a bit harder, mainly because of the fact that during the final parts of the show, his cancer came back. It was such a huge blow for me when I found out I had been diagnosed with testicular cancer for a second time. We were currently filming the final dinner party, and it was a weird feeling knowing that in the next few days I was going in for surgery to finally beat it. But beat it he did. He then went on to Instagram and he became an influencer who creates positive content, does workout videos, and even works with cancer charities. Not a bad rebound, eh? Martha and Michael. Okay, now let's head back to couples who honestly did make it work. This time with Martha and Michael. These two not only made it work, they're happy to flaunt just how much they've made it work on Instagram, because these two also became influencers. and seem to have the Instagram method of making good pictures down pat. Especially with Martha. She's also got the best SpawnCon deals working with Pretty Little Things and Olay, as she makes the second highest amount of money via Instagram out of all of the MAFS cast. Oh, and she also got to be on the celebrity version of The Apprentice down in Australia. So that's pretty cool too. Kind of proves why they made it work. They're like minds in many ways. Jessica and Mick. In every season of the show, there is a couple that 100% is not going to work. And just about everyone knows it, except the scientists who put them together. Proving that sometimes common sense is greater than science. Just saying. For season 6, that couple was Jessica and Mick. Why the experts thought they'd make a good husband and wife is baffling. And even Jessica's mates thought so when they loudly said, "She won't like him," at the wedding. Think about that. It was that obvious to them that her friend said that at her wedding. Science fail. But wait, there's a twist. Jessica realized all too quickly that this wasn't going to work for her, and thus sought out other relationships and hooked up with Dan from the same season in secret. The scandal. But even that didn't last beyond the show. Jessica is single again, and is a model for various products, while Mick actually hooked up with a lady from The Bachelor of all things, and feels he's found his soulmate. Let's hope. Melissa and Dino. Odd couple? Meet Melissa and Dino. These two were very much a case of opposites potentially attracting because one was an introvert and one was an extrovert. Give Dino credit, he did try to make it work, but then he overheard a phone call between Melissa and her sister, and needless to say, she didn't say nice things about him. And that pretty much killed the relationship right there. Poor Dino. Mel is still single and living in Sydney. On Insta, she posts SpawnCon for jewelry brands and skincare. Dino has had better luck in love, and allegedly has a new girlfriend. Dino is still big into his meditation, describing himself on Instagram as a meditation, spirituality, and nutrition coach. And he has a nice dog. Just saying. Ning and Mark. You ever go to a wedding where you just wanted it to end for the sanity of all present? Yeah. That was the wedding of Ning and Mark. Ning was so nervous about everything that she just started slinging out jokes about Mark one after another. And at that point, was it really a shock that the two didn't make it at all? We certainly don't think so. Ning would go on to meet a man named Kane, whom she seems to really click with. And that's good to hear. Mark is dating Bianca Chatfield, who is a former Australian netball player. Mark and Bianca post lots of shots of them traveling together. Mark also opened his own cafe, which is really nice as well. Mike and Heidi. When it comes to relationships, and we're being honest here, the physical attraction and actions can't be the only thing driving it forward. For Mike and Heidi, a lot of people thought they would work, because they clearly were attracted to one another, and they certainly acted like the hot couple that the show wanted them to be. But then when Heidi started to open up to Mike, he noted, "I'm not your therapist." Wow. They did try to make it work, but according to Heidi, they didn't share the same values. Heidi continues to host her radio show, and is now an ambassador for a charity helping disadvantaged kids. Mike now works as a hairline tattooist, which is a choice. It's probably for the best that these two didn't hook up long term. What do you think of this look at the couples from the 6th season of Married at First Sight, and how they ended up for better or for worse? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.